Okay, I get it. Some days you just don't feel like doing anything.
Today I don't feel like doing anything.
Hey, I'm Dan, this is Bucket List Fit, and I want to talk about how you can work out when you just don't feel like doing it. A lot of videos on YouTube already talk about tips and tricks and hacks and how you can get your workouts in an easier way, but I also want to talk about the psychology, willpower, and habits along with the tips and tricks, because if you don't have the first part down, tips and tricks aren't going to do anything for you. So the first thing I want to talk about is using the power of willpower. So when you first start working out, it's basically like trying to push a big giant wheel and you haven't started moving yet. You haven't created any inertia. So everything's going to seem a lot harder. And the reason for that is it takes about 67 days to create a habit. So if you haven't put in the 67 days of working out consistently, you're basically going to be fighting yourself all the time. But once you get past the 67 days, it'll actually become easier to work out instead of to not work out. The biggest thing you need to realize is that if you're new, it's okay that if you don't feel like working out, you should expect not to want to work out. You should expect that you're going to have to will yourself to work out, and that is completely normal. The reality is it sucks for everyone, and you will still love the gym in the long term if you just keep at it. The second thing is, even when you become fit and you've made the habit, there are still going to be days that suck. So when you go into the gym and you're not enjoying it that much and you see all those fit people walking around looking like they love it, you need to realize that those people too some days hate the gym. There are just some days that people just don't want to go to the gym, and fit people have found a way to convince themselves to go. And that's a really powerful thing, that you're not alone. Even if you're new, fit people are just like you as well and hate the gym some days too. So one of the ways to combat a day when you don't feel like going is to make a rule to never go to the gym by how you feel. A lot of people that don't work out, they always try to say, okay, if I feel like going, I'll go, or maybe after work I'll feel like it. But fit people have basically pushed that away. How you feel doesn't matter. You got to create a system, or you got to create a routine, and you stick with it rigidly. And when you stick with that routine, you'll find that over time you'll actually want to go more. But going by how you feel sets you up for failure, because there are going to be days you just don't feel like going. Simple as that. There might be days when everything's just not working out for you. Your stomach might not feel well, or you had to work through your lunch, or you had to stay late. Maybe you're really tired because you couldn't sleep the night before, or all these other things. But what you need to realize is that when it comes to working out, and when it comes to the time you have to work out, your brain will start telling you countless things about why you don't have to do it, why you've already done enough today, or how you can make it up the next day and not worry about it. And you need to realize your brain's going to try to do that, and you have to fight it. You have to recognize that these are excuses, and you have to go anyways. Because even if you go to the gym for just 10 minutes, it's still better for you because you've been able to tell yourself, no, I'm still going anyways. So be prepared for excuses, and to recognize the excuse, and to go anyway. A great way to make yourself feel really good when it comes to working out is to start thinking about your workout 2 hours prior to. So if you're planning to work out at 10 in the morning, at 8 in the morning, you should be thinking about your hydration and your nutrition. So when it comes time at 10 o'clock, you're properly hydrated and you actually have the fuel that's going to allow you to work out. Because if you don't think about these things, and when it is time to work out and all of a sudden you realize that you're dehydrated, it's going to be really easy for you to justify not working out. All of these excuses are going to be basically why nots. So a very powerful thing is you're going to need to have something, a why, that it's bigger than your why nots. So your why nots are going to be all the reasons not to work out. So you need to have something that you can tell yourself, no, I'm still going to go because of this. So find your why. What are you training for? What's it going to mean to you to get fit? To achieve something. Maybe you're training for a 10K, a marathon, or whatever, something that you're trying to achieve. Make that a really big why, write that down, so then when the excuses come, all those why nots come, you can basically reread your statement and then you can still go anyways. Try to think about how good you'll feel when you work out later in the day. Try to visualize later that night feeling really good about the fact that you worked out. Or think about the fact of how crappy you're gonna feel if you don't work out. Because the other approach is to start focusing on how good it's gonna feel to skip the gym. It'll feel good to lay down and watch that TV show. You know in the long term that's not gonna work. It's only gonna make you feel crappier about yourself. So really focus on the things that are gonna make you feel good about the workout in the long run. And then when you're debating about it, you can just really focus on that. Another thing I picked up from nerdfitness.com is to go to the gym anyway. So if you really feel like not working out that day, that's okay. Just make a rule with yourself that you'll go to the gym anyways, get changed in the change room, and then from there you could decide. Because probably 80 to 90% of the time, the reasons you don't want to go to the gym are all in your head. It's all about the work of driving to the gym, going to the change room, getting changed. So if you make a rule to do all those things and you're in the change room and you're changed, chances are you're just gonna wanna go ahead and do the workout anyways. So try making that a rule for you. Now once you get all those things going, you've made the habit, a great way to maintain the habit is to use a website like Strava and upload all of your workouts to it. And what happens is you end up feeling really good about yourself, seeing all the progress and all the work you've put in, and it's just gonna keep everything going. When you look on the website and you see you've put in this many hours last week and this many hours the week before, it'll just make you feel really good, and you'll wanna keep going, you'll wanna keep pushing, you'll wanna keep doing what you're doing knowing that it's great. If you don't have a record of all the work you've put in, it's easy to start to feel depressed some days when you're not feeling that good. You can always have that website to look back upon and make yourself feel better. Now the last steps are kind of like the tips and tricks. So you want to kind of automate everything. So in the morning, you don't want to be thinking about where all your gear is, what type of food you should be making, all this stuff, because that's just going to give more and more things to think about when you shouldn't be thinking about that type of stuff. You should just be thinking about working out. So the night before your workout, you should be planning all of that stuff. You should be setting out all your workout gear, your breakfast, your water, everything that you're gonna need. This is gonna make you have to think about a lot less things in the morning, and it's gonna increase the chance of you actually following through and getting your workout done. Oh, another tip is to watch YouTube videos of like gym motivation videos. I'll link some down below that are really just kind of get you fired up and inspired and pumped up to work out when you're not feeling like it. Because sometimes a little bit of good music can just really fire you up even if you don't want to go. Okay, so these are all the tips and tricks I got for you right now. Hopefully they help you out to get going to the gym if you're not feeling like going right now or in the future. If there's any other tips that you guys know about, comment them down below. I'd love to hear about them. All right, so thanks for watching and see you next time. So I'm just here in my room. Okay, so it's not my room, it's just a hotel room, but I wanna talk about how to make yourself go to the gym when you don't want to. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about this already, but I find a lot of them just talk about tips and tricks and how to make things easier. They don't really talk about the psychology, build momentum, how to build,